Today we're going to talk about leads for informational writing. The Gulf oil spill. Have you ever observed what happens when you put oil and water together in the same cup? The oil will quickly separate and create a layer above the water. It appears you could easily scrape the oil from the top of the water and remove it, but unfortunately, it's not that easy. Scientists, researchers, the BP oil company, government officials, and volunteer cleanup crews experienced this firsthand in a very serious real-world situation. On April 20th, 2010, an oil rig named Deepwater Horizon exploded and sank in the Gulf of Mexico. The explosion of the oil rig caused oil and gas to begin leaking through a BP pipe at the bottom of the ocean. Immediately, BP workers scrambled to try and control the spill, but were unsure of just how to do it. Government agencies were working to try and control the spread of the oil to the nearby beaches and other ecosystems. It took a total of 87 days to stop the oil spill. By then, over 3 million barrels of oil had been released into the ocean. This spill, later called one of the largest spills in American history, impacted so much of the Gulf of Mexico's ecosystem. Over 1,000 miles of shoreline was deeply affected, exposing shrimp, oysters, and fish to major amounts of oil. This made it deadly for other sea animals and birds to feed on them. Dolphins, whales, and other marine animals struggled to breathe when coming to the surface of the water, which was coated in brown sludge. Many other living things, from plants to birds, were affected as well. There wasn't much of the oil left alone. Once the oil spill was stopped, there were many things that needed to be done to start cleaning up such a horrible mess. One way they began cleaning up the oil was by spraying chemicals in the water and on the shore. These chemicals worked to break apart the oil into small enough droplets for bacteria to break down. Another cleanup method that was used was having controlled fires on the water, which burns off the oil so it won't spread to the shoreline. There were many steps to treating the wildlife that was affected. They gave each animal a thorough physical, warmed, fed, and hydrated them, and then allowed them to rest for a period of time. They would then clean them in a hot bath treated with a cleaner that helped remove the oil. These are just a few of the ways that experts work to clean up the oil spill. Since the Gulf oil spill, the federal government requires the companies to have emergency plans and ways to prevent spills like this one from happening again. So in this article, or this informational writing, what was the lead that they used? What kind of lead did they use at the beginning of their writing? A question. We look right here, it says, have you ever observed what happens when you put oil and water together in the same cup? So a question is just one of the examples of different leads that we can use for informational writing. Another lead that we can use, so we use a question. We can use facts, questions, or we can use descriptive writing. So here's an example of a fact that could be used in informational writing. On average, there are 50,000 spiders per acre in green areas. Don't worry, although spiders are widely feared, only a few species are dangerous to people. So this gives the reader a specific fact about what the topic is to start their writing. A question lead, like we just saw in the Gulf oil spill. Another example would be, are humans the only ones who name their babies? Nope. Research shows that dolphins actually give each other names. Each dolphin has a whistle sound that they recognize, similar to the way humans recognize their name. Or we can use descriptive writing for informational. The sky is more gray than blue. The puffy white clouds have turned it to black. Suddenly, the sky lights up with lightning. The wind starts to howl just as small raindrops begin to fall. In the blink of an eye, the monsoon storm has hit. So in each one of these, we can identify what our topics are going to be based on the lead. And we have 3 different ways that we can catch the reader to make them want to read more. Today, you're going to complete this chart for your informational writing. You're going to try and write a lead for each different type. You're going to try a lead that uses a fact, a lead that uses a question, and a lead that uses descriptive writing. Can't wait to see what everybody comes up with.